here we are live after the first one in Italian. Now we are doing the English one. Let's take a couple of seconds, a minute to let all Custodes join us. We have today Enrico Borro, which is the editor of the line of Lex Arcana books with Ian Hathaway, and
Hello.
Francesca Garello, which is the author of many publications in the Lex Arcana world, and obviously is writing Rome too.
Hello,
Enrico,
everybody.
Francesca,
Nice
I
to
don't know
see
if,
you.
yeah, I don't know if maybe you want to do a little bit of a presentation. We haven't done many English live in the past. Oh, we also have Claudio Vergati, Magister Regulorum, so the Master of Rules in the Lex Arcana universe. As I was saying, I think it would be nice maybe to do a little bit of a presentation for our international custodes, since we regrettably did a little less lives in English and a little more in Italian. So if you want to maybe just present yourself a little bit.
Who is starting?
Let's go hourly. So Enrico,
Okay.
Francesca, Claudio.
Okay, let's go.
Hi, I'm Enrico. I'm an archaeologist. I'm the co-creative director of Lex Arcana, and also the author of Il Tempo della Spada, which is a medieval role-playing game for Acheron books. And for Rome, by Francesca, I'm just the editor and the amanuensis who will help our geographic expert in writing the book.
I am a very old, really old player of Lex Arcana, because I started playing with the first edition in the 90s. And actually, I also wrote some short adventures for the first edition. And then with a friend of mine, Andrea Angiolino, who is a very famous game designer, Italian game designer, we wrote together the first Italia geographic module in 1997. Yes. So yeah, I am a veteran in a way. So since I graduated in archaeology, classical archaeology, I had the more or less scientific background to help the Lex Arcana setting being always consistent, even if we introduce some fantasy elements. Since it's not really history, but it's an alternate history. But I check that everything fits in this world, trying to balance the real history, the element from real history, with the one that the many authors create for their own adventure modules. So I am an author, but also I am the vestal of consistency, more or less.
Okay, Claudio.
I'm Claudio Vergati. I'm a player, mainly a player of Lex Arcana since the first edition, and now I collaborate with the authors and with Francesca for the rules, with the new rules and with the consistency of the rules in the books.
With a whip, ready to,
I'm the master of rules. Master of rules, as you say.
We have Mark telling us that he's trying to listen during dog walk time. We can completely understand. We will leave this live on the Facebook group, so it will be available for as a recording later. We have Helio Farias, who says salve.
Helio. Hola, Helio.
Yeah, some of you may end up looking as Facebook users in the comments because you actually have to give StreamYard the authorization to show your name and your avatar. So if that's something you might want to do, think about it. Federico is following us since he came a little bit late to the Italian live, so he will, I think, catch up here in the English one. Isaac says that he did not understood at first that there would be 2 streams. There were different hours. The post was similar, but the hours were different, obviously, since we were going to do it first in Italian, then in English. But we will make sure to make it clearer for next lives, because we will do many more of them. And this is Samuel Marolla. Saying finally, spoiler live. We had such a nice, considerate live chat in Italian before because Samuel, the spoiler man, was not here. But alas, we have to accept everyone here, and we accept Samuel as a Custos too. And he's saying he feels cold and says, "Let's cut the chatting. We want blood, the imperial blood."
We are all loyal servants of our beloved emperor, so don't ask for that.
Yeah, that's true. I want to maybe touch a little bit on the points we talked about also in the Italian live stream, so that the Custodes get more or less the same information. Marco is a loyal soldier of Samuel request to spoiler, but we have the mic, so we have the power this time. What I wanted to ask you, and what you answered a bit before, but again, I want to share everything with all our custodes all over the world, is that the first and most important book we will do for this campaign is Rome, the Eternal City. And it is a bit of a daunting work to do. I mean, one comes and says, do Roma. So we have Claudio again. So I want to ask all of you, again, I'll follow the clock order, what it meant to work on a book so important and with such a depth as Rome. Enrico, in your particular case, how was to have Rome as your first work on Lex Arcana as editor of the line?
It's a relaxing task, nonetheless. You cannot miss the point by starting your career in the Lex Arcana world by the capital city itself that stands for 1,000 years and so more. The year is 1226, if I can remember well.
29.
29. It's already 29, and so there's no problem to have all things, but it's not my responsibility. Luckily, it's responsibility of Francesca. We can all but help.
Yes,
so
I should add
I'm
quite
losing signal.
happy.
You can still hear me and see me?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely. Francesca.
Okay. So yeah, of course, I'm
least
relaxed.
You have a little bit, you have a little bit more experience with the Lex Arcana world as an author. So
yes, I've been living here for many years. So yeah, I know this world, and actually, I'm very lucky because I live in Rome. Actually, so it's a place very familiar to me. And actually, when I was younger. I am young, but you can always be younger. So when I was younger, I used to give guided tours around Rome. So it's a place where I'm comfortable with. But this is not real Rome. This is an alternate history Rome. So in a way it's easier, but on the other hand, it's more complicated because every invention, every new thing that you want to add to the historical background should be, consistent both with history and with the new setting. So sometimes it's not easy to reach a balance between the two elements. But I must say, it is also very fun because sometimes I find myself writing very wild things, very wild aspects of Rome, because I feel free to add to the historical setting something that I feel more, unique to the place, emphasizing the magic. The magic soul of Rome, that usually when you are giving a guided tour or if you're talking about real history in a scientific in an academic environment, you cannot do. So sometimes I feel freer, but sometimes I feel also scared because it's a huge setting and you cannot put everything into your pages. So you have to cut, to leave something, a lot aside. And so sometimes you feel you are doing something wrong. Should I, avoid to include this, or should I absolutely put it into the new book? So I'm not entirely relaxed at any time, any given time.
I keep about things that maybe still stand today in Rome, in our Rome, and what maybe I can think about, like, maybe the Romans, given the fact that they didn't consider it like a huge important monument like we do. For them, it may be just a building. So what they did, tore down and then build upon it something else.
Well, this is fun because you can decide that this particular building disappeared because there's something magic involved. Maybe because there was something hidden under or inside. So sometimes you can bend history and use the thing that you actually have before your very eyes, but you choose to interpret them in another way. So sometimes it's really a lot of fun, and you can almost do whatever you want. See, as long as you are consistent with the original idea of an alternate history Rome. So this is not a tourist guide. I mean, you're not writing a tourist guide. So it's Rome, but it's not.
No. You're writing a handbook for the perfect Custos to walk around the city. And,
yes. A dangerous place, if you let me say it. Yeah, it can be a very dangerous place.
Yeah. Claudio, what was it like for you to work on Rome and the rules for Rome and adventures for Rome? Because Claudio writes adventures.
I'm a lot worried about the confrontation with Francesca, so that Francesca correct me. So I'm lucky. I'm lucky because I live in Rome. So when I write down an adventure, I go out to see if what I'm writing is correct, if the monuments are in the exact place where I placed.
And then you discover that Francesca cut the monument out.
No, Francesca is very precise. Is very extremely precise. So he said, but it's not so okay, and I correct. But so I look a lot of plays that I.
Nice. I mean, Francesca did say that it isn't a tourist guide, but if you are an RPG player and maybe you happen to come by Rome, I think it would be very cool. The moment the book will be ready to, walk around the city, see where things are the same and where things are changed by the alternative history.
Well, actually, this is a good idea. I never thought of that, but yes, you could be, a guide you can use. Yeah,
absolutely. we have many friends in Rome, like many players association. I'm thinking about the Salotto di Giano, which is a very important game association. It would be cool to organize that. I'm making a note in my mind.
Yeah,
We
cool.
may do something like that. We have a couple of questions. Someone is very worried about the fact that there's a book called Rome and then another called The Fall. But as we said in other occasions, we will talk about The Fall in a live dedicated only to that book, which is a very new kind of book.
But who said that Theodomirus is the protagonist of The Fall? We never said that.
No, we never said that.
We never said that.
Never.
Yeah. This is Elio that's saying, super curious to learn what the Uchronic Rome looks like, having been kept safe from all the sacking. Yeah.
This is a very interesting comment, and actually, there are monuments. There are places, and they're not monuments in the tourist way. They're not monuments. They are buildings. They are really used in our setting. Well, there are some buildings that are not survived the end of the empire that are still standing in our Rome. Nice. So, for example, one example for all the aqueducts which were cut in the 7th century are still there and doing a very good work. So
also because we see we currently see in Italy aqueducts by the Romans, they're still working, so I wouldn't be surprised about it.
Yes, so yeah, there are we added some things that don't exist in historical Rome, some monuments, some buildings, some places that are important for our story, but also in the map, you'll notice some areas that are still used and that weren't anymore during the Middle Ages. So yeah, it's a more well-preserved Rome. I'm sorry, the cat destroyed my my headphones. So yes, well, it's true that it's a different Rome, not only because it's magic, but also because it wasn't sacked or destroyed. Something is missing, but only because the emperors decided something wasn't very useful anymore, so they decided to replace it with something else. For example,
maybe
can I make an example? Or I could. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. No. But it's just a topographical note. For example, all the area now occupied by the Lateran. It's not a Christian area. So there is still in that place, it's still standing the Imperial Cavalry Barracks that was destroyed by Constantine actually, and replaced with buildings related to the Christian Basilica he built there. So no Christian Basilica in the Lateran, and also no St. Peter. St. Peter's is not there because there is a group of Christians in Rome, but they are a small group of following an Eastern religion, so they don't have such huge worship buildings. Mm-hmm. So all the Vatican area is very different.
Yeah. It's a very interesting point because I think we are kind of used to seeing certain landmarks of Rome as eternal because the city is eternal,
right?
But they're not. I mean,
yes,
like you just said, it's a perfect example. Or I was thinking also the Pantheon, which is still standing. Yes, but it's so different than what would have been if the Christian church didn't actually modify it in so many ways.
Yes.
So it's Christians in Rome. It's a forbidden cult. Needless Custos investigate.
Actually, it's not forbidden, but
It's a tolerated. It's a tolerated.
it's a tolerated cult. So yeah,
It's a tolerated cult. We are.
so it is also always kept under a scrutinizing eye by the emperor.
Yeah. I also want to share this comment with you because I think it's very nice. I found the dedication to historical precision in a fantasy game refreshing. It seems much better done in Lex Arcana regarding the historical aspect. Thank you very much. It's always nice to be appreciated. Samuel is saying maybe it's the fall of the foliage in autumn. I don't think so. But
We are trying to escape him in Italy, but
yeah, exactly.
No, the fall in Italy is not so impressive. We don't have many trees that turn in the fall.
Yeah, that's true, but also because Rome is a little bit warmer. In the north, we actually a little bit of foliage. But this is not the case. This is not the case. Isaac said, forbidden, tolerated, depends on who you ask. But the law is the law. The law
it doesn't depend because it's the law, you know, we have a law, so it depends on what Theodomirus thinks. So you should ask him.
And if the lions are angry in the Colosseum, what?
Elios says regarding the comment about the historical precision that it also makes it so much richer in that you can always dig deeper in historical sources and find new and exciting details. Of course, absolutely.
Right.
Francesca is a great fan of the historical sources because, and Enrico and Claudio as well, because they always bring out stuff that's so much more crazier than anything you could have thought about.
Yes. Just read Pliny the Elder and you have everything, every crazy idea you have, it's more or less already there. So about magic. So yeah, it's sometimes it's useful, I mean easier to use an historical source because it's far wilder than what you could make up on your own. So yeah, it helps to build a deep environment, a deep setting, but also sometimes it makes it easier for authors to find strange things to put into their books.
Absolutely. And also, I would love to ask all of you, mainly Francesco, of course, but all of you, what will be your favorite place to visit as a course, as a Custos in Rome, the moment we have the book, which I want to really highlight this, will be in a lot of time. We are about to start the campaign, so the book will come in many, many months. But, you know, just to play. Enrico, we'll go again clockwise.
The forums at their splendors. At their splendor. They are still here. They are still crowded by people. There are a lot of cultures that travels from every corner of the empire, and I think that by incorporating them in our session, it's wonderful to make the players feel the grandeur of Rome that is still here, at least in fantasy.
Cool. I like that answer. I would also love to look at, you know, what are now abandoned or not lived in places and see how they were when they were bustling with activities and voices. Francesca, your turn.
I don't know. Maybe, well, for a very long time, I thought that my greatest desire and dream was to visit the Colosseum when it was a working building, because I I wrote my dissertation on a certain underground section, the one with the machines for the games, and it was very, very hard to figure out what all those holes in the walls were for, and to imagine in your mind the real life of the building. But then now I think I would like so much to visit the Suburra, to see the place where real people used to live, which was not that terrible place full of thieves and bad people that is commonly considered, but actually it was the place where the real people lived. So yeah, I would like so much to see how the real people lived in ancient Rome.
Yeah. Claudio?
The Forum, and in particular the Lapis Niger, which is a monument that attracts me in a strange
don't do
way.
that, Claudio.
Don't even start.
Don't awaken the Marolla.
It's one of the many places that are in the Forum.
I already have to keep really tight comments. I told you in the Italian live stream, I told Claudio, you have been bit by the spoiler bug.
Yes.
Yeah. I have the heredity of Mauro Longo.
Someone asking questions about a tomb, I will not show. Federico says, how many forums? There is a forum of the emperor that we don't know.
How many forums? A lot, actually. Yes. So if you are asking if Theodomirus built a forum, an additional forum, there's no room for another big square. No, he would have to probably destroy something that was already there. I don't think Theodomirus is a person who likes destroying things to put something that reminds his presence in Rome. He is more delicate than that. He likes to add new things instead than replace what is still standing. So probably not a new forum, but something related to Theodomirus, more magical, I think also. I think we will see something deeply connected with Theodomirus in this new map of Rome.
Absolutely. We talked about secret tombs and hidden treasures, and someone's talking about forgotten emperors. I don't know. The Suburra is incredibly cool. Yeah,
right. It is absolutely.
It is Samuel. I want to highlight that. The Suburra is very cool. Isaac asks, the Custodes are favored by the gods and wield their magic. Are the priests who look over the temples in Rome also able to make miracles and magic of the gods?
But, yes, of course. There are, in the city, there are many temples. Not all of them are described, of course, in the book, because there are too many. But some of them, the more interesting and sometimes less known, are more described in other places, and they are also related to some new classes of priests. So yes, there are new priests. New. It's not really new, but there are some new. Non-players characters that will be introduced in this book.
Nice. We have Lapis Niger and God Quirinus. Who knows? But you will discover it in another moment. Next stream we want Claudio here, but no Camilla.
Camilla.
there's a little tear, a little single tear coming down my cheek. But as a Custos, I have to be firm and I have to respect the pact. So there will be spoilers in due time when the moment is right.
That's a good answer.
Also because I mean you want to get to your book and arrive and play and not know everything, I suppose, right? You want to let's say have a little bit of mysteries still to when you play your adventures also. That's a very important part, I think. Federico asks if the Cloaca Maxima is a dungeon, and Anchi asks, please, no sewer levels. To sewer levels.
Well, actually, who doesn't love a good sewer? I mean, it's a nice place to place an adventure. Actually, yeah, the Cloaca Maxima is included in the book, and actually is a dungeon,
yeah,
and it is
obviously.
a dungeon.
Elio is very happy of this. Yes, sewer levels. We need a whole chapter on the Cloaca.
No, it's not a chapter, but actually, there's a section dedicated to the Cloaca Maxima. Yes.
But
we could think a random generator of Cloaca Maxima.
Yes, why not? Yeah, it was so big. I mean, it was maximum.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I love to see all the action in the comments. I also want to say that we are going to answer to the questions we still haven't answered, but we also have a cover reveal to do. We have to show you the cover of Roma. So with your questions, please let us know how much you want to see this cover, because if the Custodes are not, happy enough to see it, maybe we won't show it. So let us see a little bit of action again in the comments. Then we have another question from Helio. That says, current regional books all include sections on Beyond the Borders. I wonder if the new book includes the surround area, for example, Ostia, and Naumachia of Augustus.
Allora, the Naumachia of Augustus is included in the book because it was within the city walls. It was in Trastevere, in Transtiberim, which is the Latin name. So actually, yes, it is included and described. It's not very deep. The description is not very deep, but actually, it's such an important. It's an impressive building. So yes, it's included. Ostia, I really love Ostia. It's a place I really love, but it's a city. I mean, it's not a small place. So since Rome is already a very large book, it's thick. So including another large city, it wasn't so simple. But yeah, there's a mention of Ostia, even if it's not a very deep description.
Let's say we will use also the adventures to maybe see a little bit of what happens outside the city walls, right, Claudio?
Right.
I'm mute.
just a pleasant walk.
I'm mute. I can do one spoiler at every
for live stream.
every session. So.
But yes, I mean, Claudio again writes adventures as well, so he may or maybe not working on something set outside the city walls, but near Rome. About spoilers, Isaac and Marco says that they are the demiurge, so they need to know everything because they don't get to play. Yes, but I mean, it's also nice to discover things on your own, by reading the book and then getting to the part and saying like, Amazing, which is what we'd love, you to do. Anchi asks, will there be information on the different gangs in Rome? And I realize now that we haven't said how Rome is going to be divided. There will be
Yes.
information on the gangs of Rome, because Rome will be divided thematically in the white and gold Rome, the black Rome of the Suburra, which we talked about, and then the red Rome of, the physical pleasures. So you have the gladiators, but then you have the pleasure houses and stuff like that. Francesca, I don't know if you want to say something more about it.
Yes. Well, to give this book a more lively, composition, it's not exactly described everything is not described topographically. Yes, there is a section who, gives you an idea of how is divided the city. But more or less, we choose to give the description to describe the city by subject. So the first section is all dedicated to the official Rome, the imperial Rome, the one covered in white marble. So it's the center of power. Of course, it's also a magical place. It's not only about politics. Politics are very important in this book, but it's not only that, because still it's a magic Rome. So
Sure.
even if you are more concentrated about politics, that section that you are describing contains also a lot of magic. The second section is more or less about the dark side, the one which is not enlightened by this white marble that shines in the sun. So it's more a place where many things go unsaid, undone. So something that related to mystery, and also there is a lot of gangs and not very nice people. And again, there's also magic in this place. So it's a kind of magic that probably you don't want to, perform in open light. The section about the Red Room, yes, it is about everything that's related with the sensation you have through your body. So it's we talk about fighting, drinking, the pleasures of love. That Rome, which is not, well, it's of course very crowded, but actually it's something that probably the most noble characters don't want to declare that they are visiting very often. But yes, there is magic also there, and there is also a section that is more concentrated about magic, because there are many things in Rome that are not strictly related to a certain area of the city. I'm thinking about some magic items or some persons related, or persons living or not living, that are not tied to a specific place. And so there's also a section about the magic of Rome, which can be used in every place, but we felt that it deserved a chapter of their own. But more or less, the book is divided, as you already know, in the same. It's a geographical module.
It's the most traditional of the 3 books we are going to publish with this campaign. So you can expect the usual geographical structure for our
Yes.
other books. We have another couple of questions, and then I will show the cover. So everyone will love me too, and will want to have me too as well in these live streams. Isaac asks if there will be a live stream specifically for the Atlantis book. Yes, there will be next Monday. This time So again, at 5:30 p.m. GMT +1, with Enrico and Ian Hathaway, who are the people working on the book right now. So we will show a lot of information about that. Then Samuel says that Gangs of Rome is a super neat title because Anchi said there will be
Yes.
information on different gangs in Rome.
Right.
Yes, it is a very neat title. Custodes unite and release Claudio is being held hostage because and
Claudio.
Elio says that he'll be satisfied with a very thick Rome book.
Right.
You will be satisfied.
You will be.
Because, yeah, it
You
will
will
be
be.
a very thick book. And then Marco says, I think it is not a case you mentioned gladiators as first thing that come in mind. I mean, Rome, the Colosseum, the Amphitheatrum Flavio. It's the most iconic image of all. So, and also,
Right.
you may see it in just a couple of seconds on the cover of our beautiful Roma volume that I will share as soon as my computer will work with me. And here it is. Beautiful and whole instead of, made into pieces, with the imperial image of Theodomirus on his horse, looking above it and checking it. Guys, I want to hear how much you like this cover by Antonio De Luca because I love it. I love it so much.
It's beautiful. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Elio is also saying that there was this little known show in HBO
Little
called
known?
Rome.
Are you sure it's little known?
It was pretty popular. And afterwards, the characters would be a fun little Easter egg. Chubby Forum news announcer, anyone?
That's a clever idea. I mean, yeah, it's fun. We'll think of it.
Yeah. Also because Francesca actually is a fan of Rome. I mean, I know you.
Yes, I saw it. Many times. Actually, it was very well done. And actually, the set is still standing in Cinecittà. So you want the cinema city south of Rome. So you can visit it and walk through the forum, which is an unbelievable experience.
Enrico, Claudio, if you have not seen it, maybe we should do a rewatch together.
I have seen.
Right.
Nice. We can organize that maybe, because I have to admit I have not seen it yet. But I will watch it, I swear. And maybe we can do a watch
I think
along.
that two years ago, there will be a live session of
Yes.
Lex Arcana in
Yes,
that
yes.
set.
Yes.
Yes, they organize a live set, a live play.
Wow.
Yeah, that was really cool. Who knows? Maybe in the future we can go back and organize.
And it was before the live was held before the issue of our coin, Theodomirus coin.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
the people who organized the live printed and cut tens and tens of coins because they wanted to use it in the live, so they have to cut them all by hand. There were so many of them, but it was really fun. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, last year in December when we did the 30 years celebration of Lex Arcana, we actually had some props coming from Cinecittà, real props.
Right.
So,
From Rome, from the HBO Rome.
Yes, exactly. So we are deeply connected with that show. I mean, HBO, if you want to do a TV series from Lex Arcana, we are here. Just ask. We would be very happy. People is liking very much the cover, as I knew they would. Samuel says, "What a handsome guy is the young Theodomirus."
Yes, he is.
Yes. I have to say, he is a very good-looking guy. We said before that he's like. This sentence was said by Claudio, and I wholeheartedly agree. Theodomirus is basically a Marco Aurelio that has the bello. So
yes, more the bello. Yes,
exactly. What's not to love? Teodomiro setting fashion trend with his manly beautiful beard. Absolutely.
It's beautiful. I really love it with this,
Yeah,
you know,
very regal.
he looks like a Greek philosopher.
Yeah, exactly. The cover is by Antonio De Luca, as the other covers of Lex Arcana, and I think he really nailed down the appearance of Teodomiro, who knows, may make an appearance also in other ways in this Kickstarter, not only in the content, but I don't know if I want to spoil it too much, but Teodomiro's voice was very recognizable. Let's say that. Let's say that. Then Kai says to me that there's a very special place in Dante's Hell for those people who did not watch Rome. I'm sorry, but I think I still have a little bit of time to watch it and then save myself from eternal damnation. I swear I will do it. I say this, I swear also this, we will do a watch along on the group, so we can all watch together Rome and tell what we like about it. Yuno Moneta approves that edition. I think about
Yes.
talking about the coins.
The one that cut all the coins.
Exactly.
Yes.
Elio says, wait, is the book's title just Roma? No subtitle? Elio, we are still a little bit, on the fence about this. Because on one hand, all the geographical expansion books had a subtitle. On the other hand, they had a subtitle because they had to explain their kind of vibe, their feeling. Whereas Rome is Rome. Roma is Roma. There's if you say Roma, you say the whole world. You don't have to explain anything about what the vibe of Rome is. So
Yes.
we are a bit on the fence. We were thinking about some potential subtitles, right, Enrico, Francesca, Claudio? Don't know if maybe you want to talk about them, but also the name alone works well, in my humble opinion.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
like
so.
the HBO, series, so
Yeah,
we can.
exactly.
Yeah.
There were a couple suggestions in the Italian live stream. Someone said the Eternal City, which may work. I think it's rather simple, but it is effective. It's the name of Rome. Otherwise, we thought about Caput Mundi in Latin, which would work both in English and Italian, and which is one of the many names with which Rome is known. But I don't think any one of us is really in love with these ideas. I don't know if you want to maybe say something about this, guys.
I don't think it will be necessary. Rome is just Rome.
I don't
And
know. I feel that something is missing without a subtitle, but I don't really know which one could be. So I don't know.
Yeah. Kai agrees with us. What else do you need? Rome stands for itself. Yeah, that's basically the gist of it. Samuel says, Quem di diligunt adolescens moritur.
But this is really how
Yeah.
how scholarly, and it's more or less. But don't forget that Theodomirus is not an adolescent. I mean, he's not very young
No.
at this
He's
point.
a grown man.
He's a grown man. He's not. Yeah, of course, he's not a middle-aged man. He's a man in his full, in his full life. But actually, I don't think he could be, counted among the one who died young. So who knows? Who knows?
Anyway, someone is a fan of my idea, Rome from HBO with Francesca commentary. Yes, please.
I would love to, but actually, something I think I really didn't like was the clothing of the women, because it was completely out of style. But actually, everything else was very good.
We'll make pretend that it's actually Lex Arcana, so the different clothing.
Yes.
And then Isaac says that in Portuguese, bello, written bello, means beautiful. So Marcus Aurelius with the bello sounds funny.
But it's
it's also true.
But it's the same in Italian
Italian.
because bello for us is handsome. So he is
Yeah.
handsome, actually. Who
Yeah.
can deny it?
Exactly. I want. I certainly want. Federico suggests Urbis et Orbis as a subtitle. I don't know. I still feel that the no subtitle route for now is the best one. Helio says, I'm on the fence as well. I agree the title on its own is very powerful, but the OCD in me wants all books to follow the same formula.
Yeah,
understand that.
I feel you. Absolutely.
Samuel says that Theodomirus is young in spirit. And then Helio says Caput Mundi, written with the V's, sounds cool.
Yes, absolutely.
Cool.
Yes.
Could be
Yeah.
very cool.
Pull of formation.
Pull of formation.
and that's really fun. Pullo is one of our favorite characters, so yeah. I understand.
Okay.
In HBO, from HBO Rome, so
sure, absolutely. Guys, I think we said everything that could be said that we meant to say. We shared the cover, which is amazing. There will be a lot of other information that we will share this following week, in the upcoming days. And also, obviously, the more we get closer to the Kickstarter campaign starting date, which will be mid-April, as we said. So, we leave something still for a little bit of mystery, for leaving you with a taste of what's to come. Oh, I'm sorry. It seems I lost the question. You have managed to avoid the questions about the insane horrors from the night, the ancient Roman vampires living a parasitic life on society. I suppose this is another RPG game.
yeah, it's a nice idea.
Okay. Isaac says that he would prefer a subtitle because of aesthetic reasons connected to the stack of books. The way you see it on the shelves. We'll make some some tests before actually printing it, which will be in many moons. So we'll see what the final decision will be. Then again, we will talk a lot more about Roma in the upcoming days and weeks. For now, I'd say goodbye and thank you to everyone who followed this live stream, and to Enrico, Francesca, and Claudio for talking to us and explaining us what Roma will be. We'll see each other with Enrico and Ian Hathaway next Monday to talk about Roma. To talk about Atlantis. Roma is always on my mind. To talk about Atlantis and
it can be a subtitle. Roma, always on my mind.
Always on my mind.
Very good.
Yeah. And we will have the chance to talk about the first ever campaign for Lex Arcana, adventure campaign for Lex Arcana. That will be fun. Okay, there's a suggestion by Kai. We can capitalize the capital letters instead of Rome. Like Rome. Perfect rom-com title, says Anchi. Yes, that's true, absolutely. And then again, thank you very much to everyone who followed us. And we hope to see you also in the next live streams, where we will reveal maybe another cover.
Maybe. Only maybe.
Could it be the Atlantis one? Yes.
Who knows?
So we'll see you next Monday this time. Thank you again, everyone, so much, and have a good night.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
See you
Ciao,
soon.
ciao. Ciao.